What is going on, Arizona sports fan family? How are we doing out here today on this Wednesday night? Where I didn't think I was going to stream today, ladies and gentlemen, but we got some breaking news today coming out of the Arizona Cardinals camp. What is going on, everybody? How you doing out here today on this Wednesday night? If you guys haven't done so already, definitely do me one huge favor. Smack the like button on this live stream. We're going to have a lot of discussion today, ladies and gentlemen, pertaining to the Steve Keim breaking news. We're going to talk about it all today, ladies and gentlemen. The Ian Rappaport, all that stuff, everything. What the Arizona Cardinals ended up putting out on their Twitter as well. So we're going to have a fun-filled show for you today, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Smack that like button. And if this is your first time here, subscribe it up. We're on the road to 11K, 12K, 13K. We're just trying to run it up as fast and as big as we possibly can on this channel. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let's dive right into it, ladies and gentlemen. This is the big breaking news that we ended up seeing today, and the report came out from Ian Rappaport, at least the screenshot did, but I do also know that Adam Schefter also reported on it as well. But this is the screenshot I want to show you guys, and here it is. So this is it. Sources: Cardinals GM Steve Keim is taking an indefinite health-related leave of absence from the team. And he also did go out there and say that, there's going to be people taking, his place, right? It's going to be, I believe, Adrian Wilson and Quentin Harris. I believe that's the two people that were going to take his place in the interim, right? In the interim until he gets better or the Arizona Cardinals decide what they're going to do. Because as of right now, the way that the Arizona Cardinals are playing this almost seems very Bruce Arians-esque, if you ask me. I think this kind of smells like Michael Bidwell trying to do his due diligence and not fire his buddy Steve Keim. That's what this feels like. That's what this feels like, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I'm not going to go out here and say that I don't want Steve Keim to get... Oh, yeah. If the reports are true that Steve Keim is hurt, or not hurt, but sick, and to the point where he had to take a medical leave, yeah. Oh, obviously. Yeah, definitely. Thoughts and prayers to him and his family and whoever's going through any illness that's, causing him to take this medical leave for, being away from the Arizona Cardinals. But it just feels weird. It feels weird. Now, in the ESPN game on Monday night, I remember very specifically that I ended up tweeting something out in the Twitter world, right? Because there was a pan, a shot over to Michael Bidwell on Monday Night Football. And I noticed, and I know a lot of people noticed as well, not just me, but a lot of people noticed that Steve Keim was not sitting next to Michael Bidwell. So I went onto Twitter. Of course, I was trying to find a screenshot. But I was doing a watch party that day, so I couldn't actually do the screenshot. But I went ahead and went out there on my Twitter, and I tweeted, did anybody else see that? Did anybody else not see Steve Keim next to Michael Bidwell? And of course, I got so many different responses. A lot of people are like, oh yeah, I saw that too, right? This is the exact tweet. Now, obviously, keep in mind that this tweet was put out on December the 12th. Today is the 14th. As you can see, that timestamp right there. I'm not trying to be insensitive and try to put more salt on the wound, at least today. We all know how I feel about Steve Keim, but this is what I ended up tweeting out. Now, I know there are some people that responded and said he's sick, right? He's not feeling well. That's the main reason. But to kind of do this where the Arizona Cardinals are having a bad season, I don't know. It just feels a little fishy. It feels a little fishy. Like something's in the air right now that I don't think fully that Michael Bidwell wants to do the firing. That's what it feels like. But if that's not the case, like I said a little earlier, I hope that Steve Keim gets better. I hope that, whatever illness that he has that's preventing him from being the GM for the remaining of the 4 weeks, hopefully he gets better. Now, we've seen something similar to this before, right? We've seen something similar to this before. We've seen Bruce Arians. Maybe you guys, some of you probably don't remember. There's a young crowd here on YouTube. Some of you probably don't remember the tenure of Bruce Arians. But we've seen another situation with Bruce Arians in that whole situation, right? Where he ended up retiring due to a medical leave as well. And there was kind of some rumors speculating that, Bruce Arians didn't want to retire, but it almost kind of felt like Keim and Michael Bidwell was forcing him out. Not sure if you're going to believe the conspiracy theories or anything like that, but that's kind of something to put out there before, right? Because we've heard this situation before. We've heard of health reasons. We've heard it. Now, this is crazy. Absolutely crazy news coming out. Now, I do have a screenshot pertaining to what the Cardinals Twitter page ended up coming out and putting out on their Twitter. And then they said this: Arizona Cardinals general manager Steve Keim is currently on a health-related leave of absence. Keim's duties are being handled on an interim basis by Vice President Player Personnel Quentin Harris and Vice President Pro Personnel Adrian Wilson. Out of respect for privacy, which is required by law, the team will refrain from commenting further. Y'all, I don't know about that one, ladies and gentlemen. I do not know about that one. Now, obviously, the world that we're living in right now, right? Reporters, social media, everybody wants the scoop. Everybody wants the news. I don't know if I 100% believe in what's going on here. Now, if this whole thing plays out, right? If this whole thing plays out and Steve Keim does end up getting released or fired or let go due to medical reasons, okay. I mean, there's really no thinking about it at that point, right? As a Cardinal fan, okay, cool. I mean, bottom line is we got what we want, right? To be brash, right? To be, I guess to put it blunt, we got what we want. Now, we didn't want it out of the expense for somebody getting sick and not being able to do their job. Obviously, we didn't want it that way, but a lot of people wanted Steve Keim gone, right? If Steve Keim does come back, I don't know how this is going to be approached. Now, granted, we have 4 weeks left. Right now, we have 4 weeks left in the NFL season for the Arizona Cardinals, right? We got the Broncos coming up on this weekend. We got the Falcons, we got the Bucks, and then we got the 49ers. 4 weeks. 4 weeks. And I don't know if, like, I don't know. It just seems weird. It seems weird. But here we are, right? Here we are. Now, I know social media is a dark, scary place, right? Especially Twitter. A lot of people said some, pretty insane. I'm not going to go ahead and sit here and say, don't say it. It's whatever you want to say, right? It's a free world. This is insane news, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely insane news. Now, I did put a poll question earlier. If you guys didn't vote, it's going to be on top of the chat. Right now, we have 49 votes. I posted it 10 minutes ago. I asked you guys, will Steve Keim be back? Right now, 49 votes still. We have, okay, now it's changed up. 51 votes. We have 75% saying no, he won't be back. 25% says yes, he will be back. Okay, so we got some people that are optimistic about Steve Keim possibly coming back. Now, like I said earlier, I don't know how much I believe this. I truly don't. Now, we're going to allow this to play out, right? We're going to allow this to play out as much as we best as we can. We're going to allow this to play out. I think this is the end of Steve Keim. I truly do. If they do come out and saying he's going to either step down or, he's going to be letting go on his own terms, I mean, that makes him look good, right? At least for the rest of the NFL, right? Anybody else wants a GM? Steve Keim. Because to be fired from a GM role is really sometimes hard to bounce back from. But there's been a lot of chatter, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of chatter about Steve Keim and what his drafts look like and what his free agency agents look like. His trades look good, but that's pretty much the extent, right? And we've heard that the latest report coming out from Jordan Schultz, which I made a video about. And another thing came out from Patrick Peterson. So I think there's more to this than meets the eye. But I know how the Arizona Cardinals organization runs. I know it. I know how they run. They're probably going to continue to play this off, and he's going to retire maybe for a year, or he's going to step down. So this is crazy. This is absolute crazy news, and pandemonium has hit the Twitter world right now because Steve Keim, for the new people that are coming in, has stepped away on a medical leave per Ian Rappaport. Now, this is the exact tweet that came out. Cardinals GM Steve Keim is taking an indefinite health-related leave of absence from the team. So it's just really, if you believe it, or if you don't believe it. But I mean, regardless, I think Keim is done. I truly do. I truly, truly do believe Keim is done. Now, I could be wrong, right? I could be wrong. I've been wrong plenty of times before. But I truly do believe that he's done. Now, with this tweet that ended up coming from the Arizona Cardinals, this bottom part right here, this is the tweet that ended up coming out from the Arizona Cardinals here, right? So let's kind of recap it again and read it real quick. Arizona Cardinals general manager Steve Keim is currently on a health-related leave of absence. Keim's duties are being handled on an interim basis by Vice President Player Personnel Quentin Harris and Vice President Pro Personnel Adrian Wilson. Out of the bottom part is kind of where I wanted to show you. Out of respect for privacy, which is required by law, the team will refrain from commenting further. I mean, unless he has right, the thing that's going on in the world right now, right? Unless he has that. I mean, if he's still sick and needs an actual medical leave, man, this is where's the way? What else could it possibly be? I know people made some jokes on Twitter. I'm not going to humor that right now. But I mean, unless he has the thing that's been going on and caused the pandemic, right? Maybe he got that real bad. I don't know. I don't want to speculate. But to make sure that a leave has been in place, it is odd. Because you could probably take a week or two out. We only have 4 weeks left. We have 4 weeks left on the season. 4. What real impact are we going to have, right? What real impact are we going to have? The Arizona Cardinals ended up signing, was it Carson Strong a couple days ago, or it might have been yesterday. And then we ended up signing David Blau, a quarterback, today. Because obviously Kyler Murray and Rondo Moore ended up going on the IR. It's just weird. It's weird. 4 weeks left in the season, and he's taking a leave. I don't know. It's odd. Like I said a little earlier, I know there's more people coming in here since the beginning of the stream. If it's true, speedy recovery. If it's the truth, speedy recovery to him. I really do hope the best for him. I truly do. But this just screams to me, and it's all based off opinion, lady. There's no sources that I have or anything like that, or source me, and trust me, bro. That is that source on its own. But this screams to me that we're going to be hearing, if not in the end of the year, but maybe in a few weeks, that Steve Keim is going to be stepping down. Whether retiring, leaving the Cardinals, I don't know. I don't know. I feel it in my bones that something is coming. I feel it. And the only reason why I'm taking this route is because the whole BA situation thing that happened, right? The whole BA situation thing happened. That's weird. So I don't know. It's odd. So if he does come back, Cool. I'm glad he got healthy, right? I mean that's good because if you're really going out 4 weeks, sheesh, it must be bad. It absolutely. I mean, the only thing I can think of, but just this tweet was just really really weird right here. Really really weird. Out of respect for privacy, which is required by law, the team will refrain further from commenting. Odd. Odd. And maybe I'm reaching, right? Maybe. But I truly do believe that this might be the end for Steve Keim. If he wasn't buddy buddy with Michael Bidwell, then I would have completely believed this. I would have been like, oh yeah, yep, I believe it. But the buddy buddiness to me is it's enough for me to kind of at least question the idea of maybe this ain't it. I think I do see in the chat, maybe it's a mutual agreement. Yeah, well, regardless of how it is, right? However you want to shake it, which way you want to shake it, to the left, to the right, it doesn't matter to me. Doesn't matter to me, however you want to shake it. If this is indeed the end of the Steve Keim era, wow. What a way to go out, especially because this has been the loudest I have ever seen fans, and the attendance going to these games. I know y'all don't believe me. I know y'all don't believe, and that's fine. You don't have to believe me. I went to multiple of these games this year. A lot of these games. There's not a lot of people in that stadium. Trust me when I say, okay, so what? Let's say, for example, they hold 35,000, right? Let's just throw a number up there. I honestly say that they're missing about at least 15 to 20% of seats emptied. At least. Now, they can be seats that are bought and they just didn't show up. That's a possibility. I don't know that. But there's a lot of empty seats in that stadium. And I was there in primetime game versus the Saints. There's a lot of empty seats, and maybe not on the bottom. So if you're privileged enough to sit on the bottom, and I also did tweet about I had an Arizona Cardinal representative reach out to me because I'm a season ticket holder. He reached out to me and obviously wanted to see if I wanted to renew, and I posted that on Twitter, and a lot of people were like, "Oh, I can't wait for them to call me." People are sick of it. People are tired of it, and if it's affecting Michael Bidwell's pockets, we'll see though. We'll see how it shakes out. We truly will. Yeah, nosebleed scenes are, yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm talking about. If you're watching from the very top, then you notice. If you're sitting at the bottom, you don't see it because you're focused on the game. You don't really have anything else to look at. You're just focused, right? If you're sitting from the top, you notice. Even the suites, the 200 suite area, oh, there's a lot of seats empty, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you that right now. And who's that affecting? That's affecting Mr. Michael Bidwell. So we'll see. I mean, we'll see how it all shakes out, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see. First super chat of the night. Appreciate you, Andrew. Thank you so very much for the super chat. He says this way, Bidwell saves millions in keeping Cliff, just enough to get us to buy merch and tickets while minimizing the contract hits. Ooh. I mean, you might be right. But let me ask y'all in the chat. Because we've heard, right? We've heard the noise out there, right? Patrick Peterson, that report that came out from Jordan Schultz. We've heard a lot of fans be super upset. Let me ask you guys this. If indeed Steve Keim's gone, are you okay with getting another year of Cliff? Because, hear me out here. Hear me out well. The only reason why I say one more year of Cliff is because, A, we don't have to worry about the draft capital to try to trade a Sean Payton. Now, granted, yes, when he hits the open market, it's going to be pandemonium. I get that. But that may be an idea for Michael Bidwell to possibly do it, right? To get an incentivized for people to come back into the stadiums and watch these games. I kid you not, ladies and gentlemen, these tickets are going for dirt cheap, and nobody wants to go to this. How do you blame the fans? We haven't won a game. We won like one game in the last, 9 to 10 games? We won one home game. One home game. So how do you blame the fans for reacting the way that we do? This is truly something that I feel like is going to shake up more than some people think. I just saw the Twitter or the posts that I ended up posting here on the chat, and I asked you guys, do you think Keim will come back? 75% says Keim won't be back, and 25% says Keim will be back. So, right, it's kind of up in the air right now. It truly is. It's kind of up in the air. JK, what's up, brother? Appreciate the super chat. Ladies and gentlemen, just FYI, I know there's a lot of people commenting. Keep continuing to do it. If you're asking me a direct question, super chat's the best way to do it. If you don't do that, no worries. Continue. It's free in the chat. Just talks amongst each other. Just FYI. I know we have a lot of people in here. JK Gamer coming out with a clutch super chat. Appreciate you. He says, also, have you noticed Keim hasn't been in interviews and stuff? I haven't heard his voice since the beginning of this season. Yes, I've noticed that. And I also noticed here in the local radio, Steve Keim wasn't doing his weekly interview, or weekly or bi-weekly, however he comes. He usually comes on 98.7. Now, granted, I stopped listening to him. I truly did. I'm just hearing the same crap over again. Like the press conference from Cliff, I don't listen to it anymore. Like literally, I can tell you exactly what he tells you without watching it. So there's no point, at least in my mind. So yeah, I have noticed that. So maybe these extensions that were given to them for the 5 years was put out there for the thoughts and idea of maybe, try to create some sort of consistency. Because Keim's and Cliff's contract does not hit the cap. It doesn't hit the salary cap. Obviously, it hurts the pockets of Michael Bidwell if there's no out for them, right? It hurts their pockets. His pockets. But that's it. I have noticed those. Yeah, 100%, JK. I have heard this, or I have noticed it. He hasn't been as involved as I thought he was going to be. Now, granted, also, Hard Knocks, there's going to be a Hard Knocks episode coming out, right? At 8. Y'all, if you're expecting to see anything about this, you're probably not going to. Or you'll probably get a clip of Keim coughing. I don't know. Or maybe a very 2 to 3 minute, or maybe like a 1 to 2 minute thing about Steve Keim hasn't been inside the office for blah, 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 blah. Maybe you'll see that. But you're probably not going to see anything on Hard Knocks about this. A, it happened this week, so it's probably going to be on next week's episode anyways. And then B, we're probably just going to get a recap of what we already know. So yeah, it's crazy. 4 more games, ladies and gentlemen. 4 more games. And we get this big bombshell of a news coming out here from Ian Rappaport / Adam Schefter as well. Insane. Absolutely insane. So we'll see, right? I mean, would we have rather of a situation where it's like, it's happening? Would we rather, telling us that he got let go and fired? Yeah, hell yeah. I mean, yeah. We don't want to wish any ill on anybody, right? Especially this whole situation with what's going on in the world, whether you believe in it or you don't believe in it. I know that I'm not getting into that right now. But what I'm saying is that if he got a dose and he's really, really sick, then okay, yeah, speedy recovery to him for sure. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, y'all. I mean, we'll see. This is definitely wild news, though. For the new people that are coming in here, this is what we're discussing here today. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you guys for coming here, by the way. Big bombshell of a news coming out from Ian Rappaport saying this. Steve Keim's taking an indefinite. Now, the indefinite, to me, when I first read that, I was like, oh my God, he's never coming back. I've seen this before in reports when they say indefinite. I think it just means like they don't really know when he's coming back. And of course, because it's 4 weeks left, it's safe to say that he's not coming back this year. But let's continue. Health-related leave of absence from the team. Now, the Arizona Cardinals also went ahead and put their own, tweet together and send this out to the fans. Kind of the same mumbo jumbo, but we did get who's going to be able to, take over, at least in the interim, which is going to be Adrian Wilson. And, I'm sorry, Quentin Harris. I'm sorry, completely blanked. And then that bottom part's super weird. But here we go, right? But yeah, I noticed this from the get. I posted this here 2 days ago, ladies and gentlemen, on Monday Night Football. I noticed that Steve Keim was not next to Michael Bidwell. And I noticed that from the get. I was like, something's going on here, y'all. Something's going on here. Now, even if he didn't, I saw some people like reply with like, oh, he's sick. Of course, he's not going to be there. Okay, well, let's keep the lie up. Okay. I mean, we all called out sick before, ladies and gentlemen, and weren't sick. So, okay. I mean, if that's the way, if that's cool. I mean, believe whatever you want to believe. But the idea of him not being by Michael Bidwell because he's sick, and that's like, oh, well, I mean, it makes sense because he wasn't there. Okay, well, I'll allow that to continue going in your mind. If he comes back, I'll be shocked. I truly will be shocked. I saw some comments about Cliff. Right now, I don't see anything happening to Cliff. We got 4 games left, right? I mean, if it was at the bye week, then I would be like, yeah. But as of right now, I'm not sure if anything's going to happen to Cliff yet. He seems to be pretty, like, what's the word I'm trying to say? Like, positive, right? He's saying a lot of the politically correct things like, hey, yeah, we're going to work on it and stuff like that. But we know Cliff, though. We know Cliff. So we'll see. Next super chatter, Taylor. What's up, Taylor? Appreciate you in the super chat. He says this. Hey, y'all, I got a quick question. Who's got tickets for the Cardinals and Buccaneers game? I'm in the Navy and I'm coming home for Christmas. Nice. Who's got tickets for the car? I mean, there should be tickets still available. At least I think there should be. Are you trying to get tickets off somebody, like specific ones, like on the bottom row? Because I think there's still tickets available. I'm seeing a lot of those commercials. A lot. Like, fill up State Farm Stadium and protect the nest. I'm seeing those commercials a lot. So I would say definitely check like those apps, Ticketmaster, anything like that. Unless you're just trying to like sync up with somebody and just like, hang out. Appreciate the super chat though, brother. Here we go. We got somebody saying we're going to the game. We got Pork 270 down there saying he's going to the game. Maybe you guys can talk amongst in the chat. But yeah, I've been already 2 primetime games so far, and it wasn't as filled as y'all think it's going to be. It wasn't as filled as all. Wasn't filled. So we'll see. SeatGeek, yeah, SeatGeek, Game Time, Ticketmaster. I kind of avoid. There's like Vivid Seats, stuff like that. I don't have a promo code yet with SeatGeek, but I'm working on getting a promo code. So TBD at this very moment. And I mean, let's think about maybe he's not like sick like a cold. Maybe it is like mental health. I mean, that can also be a possibility as well. I see somebody in the chat right there saying this is a very stressful job. Oh yeah, this is a very stressful job. And of course you got a lot of people, calling your name out. Yeah, this is a stressful job. Absolutely. I know there's a lot of people out there, especially these people in these high organizations, saying things like, "Oh, we don't pay attention to the outside noise." Trust me, when the noise gets loud enough, ladies and gentlemen, they listen to noise. So I can see that maybe that might be the approach. Maybe it's not like a sickness, like a cold or the thing that caused the pandemic. Maybe it's not that. You're right. That's another possibility, which obviously is nothing to joke about. That's serious. It's absolutely serious. It's a stressful job. It absolutely is. An absolute stressful job. So I know that, believe it or not, because I was told before, and I'm not going to mention anybody's name because I don't like doing that. Sometimes I was told, Mike, They're not going to be able to hear you. You're one person. Mike, this is too big. This organization doesn't care about one fan. Mike, it doesn't matter. Mike, what you say doesn't matter, Mike. Mike, stop hashtagging. It doesn't matter, Mike. Mike, stop. Mike, I've heard it all, ladies and gentlemen. I've heard it all. And I know for a darn fact they know this channel exists. I know for a darn fact that somebody within that organization, I'm not saying Steve Keim or Michael Bill, I'm not saying that. It could be the intern. It can be the undrafted player that was raised in Arizona. It could be anybody. They know this channel exists, ladies and gentlemen. And with what we got going on here, we've made enough noise that the national media is now asking questions. You get the national media start asking questions, you start seeing things like what Jordan Schultz ended up coming out. There was a lifetime NFL staffer came out and said things like, he's a fan. He's not an NFL or a player savant or whatever the heck he said. Got people start talking now. Now people start looking at the draft picks when we already know. We already knew it. We knew it. We've been talking about Steve Keim since year 2. Please don't, if you're new here, if this is your first time here, obviously subscribe. If yours is your first time here, but don't think that we're just trying to get on a bandwagon and do things like, oh my God, Mike just trying to jump on the, no, hell no. You want to go through my videos? Go down to 2 years ago when my thumbnails were absolutely crap. They still might be crap, but it's okay. You go there. I was preaching this from the jump, from the moment that people were telling me, Mike, shut up. Mike, you're so negative. Oh my God, why are you here? Blah, 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 blah. Now, however this shakes out, we get what we want. However it shakes out, I don't care. Hope everything's well in the Keim family. I truly do. For mental health, for any sickness, I truly do. But it seems like this is trending in the direction of Keim's era being over, at least in my mind. Let me get to the super chat here from Jay Garcia. Appreciate the $1.99 donation. He says this, Adrian Wilson for GM. Oh, yeah. And don't think that I wasn't talking about Adrian Wilson as a GM back in September, ladies and gentlemen. I just didn't make a video about it because I don't know if my bugging was annoying you guys, but I was talking about Adrian Wilson as a GM for a bit now. Promote him. And then people were like, well, what's the point? He's learning under Steve Keim. It's going to be the same thing. Nah, it's not. Just because you learn under a boss doesn't make you that boss. I've had many trainers try to train me into a new position. I'm not that person. I'm just getting what I need to do in this job, and I do everything myself. Just the way that it is. I think Adrian Wilson will do a fantastic job as a GM if he gets the opportunity. I truly believe that Adrian Wilson is actually getting some sort of intrigue amongst the NFL for the GM position. So, I mean, we'll see. If it doesn't happen, then cool too. I mean, I have no skin in the game. As long as I'm not gonna, I call him Thanos usually. As long as Steve Keim is not the GM, I'm cool. I'm cool with it. I think I might have been one of the first ones to start saying things about our first round picks. People didn't like it. But the way this roster was built, it ain't it. It ain't it, ladies and gentlemen. It ain't it. It ain't it. So we'll see. We'll see what happens here, right? So at this very moment, that's the breaking news. We've got some new people coming through. If you guys, if this is your first time here, definitely do me a huge favor. Smack the like button. Do it for the Arizona Cardinals with this huge breaking news that ended up coming out today. Smack the like button and subscribe if you're, hovering over the channel. I know there's a lot of people always hover over this channel and they don't want to hit that subscribe button. I don't know why. Join the community. Trust me, it's free. But yeah, I mean, We'll see, right? We'll see. At this very moment, only time will tell. Only time will tell. Got a question here saying, Mike, do you think Kurt Warner was the best Cardinal? To me, in my era, it's hard for me to not say Larry Fitzgerald to me is the best Cardinal. To me, right? I mean, and that's just an opinion of a fan, right? I mean, it doesn't hold any weight. But to me, if you're going to ask me who the best Cardinal is in my era when I've been watching them, every time I thought of the Arizona Cardinals, it was always Larry. Always. Larry gets my utmost respect with everything he says, with everything he does, with however he treated himself in the organization and how classy he is. Although he might have not felt it deep down, but put that professional face on, get paid. So to me, I say Larry. I'm surprised Carson. I see somebody there asking about Carson Palmer. I'm surprised Carson Palmer is he's. I don't think he's even in the Ring of Honor right now, is he? I don't think he's even in the Ring of Honor. That's weird. That's odd. That's odd to me. Is he or is he not? I don't know. I don't know if he is or not. You think he is? Let me find out, man. I was thinking about maybe see if I can Google it or something like that. I'll do it later. Yeah, I mean, we'll see, right? This is huge news. Let's continue with the chat here. We got an Eagle fan up in here. What's up, Joey? Appreciate you for being here. Let's focus on the chat right now. You should be in the Ring of Honor. No, I don't want to be in the Ring of Honor. I truly don't. And I don't want to be no fan of the year either, because I'm the furthest away from being the most peppiest cheerleading Cardinal fan that's out there. I think there's definitely better ones that can represent the Arizona Cardinals a lot better than I could. I'll definitely tell you that right now. I'd be the worst fan of the year. I'm glad I didn't go for it. I'm never gonna go for it. They don't want me there. Trust me. Palmer was inducted, but was he put on? Okay, I'll look into it. Larry Fitzgerald for head coach. No, I think Larry Fitzgerald. I think he's happy where he's at right now. I don't know if he would do that. Michael. Oh, that's right. He did call him in surprise. You're right. Now I remember. Thanks for reminding me. The whole surprise thing. That's what kind of struck my mind. That's right. I do like Carson Palmer. How much are we realistically willing to give up for Peyton in the unlikely chance he decides to come here? That's a good question. There's reports out there saying that he can go for 2 first-round picks. So that's a lot. That's a lot. Now, right now, the Arizona Cardinals are at the 5th overall or the 6th overall right now. I know it's different in different spots. I like to go to Tankathon personally. Let's see. Let's see where we're at right now. We're sitting at the 6th overall spot, at least per this website. We're sitting at the 6th overall spot, and then we got the 37. We're such in prime spot right now. That can get us a awesome player. It gets a freaking sweet player. So honestly, the idea of getting Sean Payton, I don't know. I'm a little worried about the first round picks, especially since how low we are. Man, we need players, man. We need players. I don't know what JJ Watt's gonna do. He might retire. I know there's some people that want him back. I'm one of those that don't want JJ Watt back. And it's not because I don't like it. I like JJ Watt. I really do. But I think that money can be allocated elsewhere. There's a lot of people that are going to be up for extensions. A lot of people being up for extensions this year. What we want to replicate is what the Seahawks did. That's what we want to replicate. We want to replicate what the Seahawks did. I think they have 3 or 4 starters as their rookies, and they have 2 potentials to see how they come up. And we know about potentials, right? We know about potentials, ladies and gentlemen. Here as Cardinal fans, we're always going based off the potential or they look better this week and then this week and then that week. But we know about potential. But they got some starters over there, and the Seattle Seahawks. Now, granted, they're rookies, right? They can get better. There's room for them to get better, but I mean, there's high praise from the rookies is what I'm trying to say from what they're doing as a rookie so far. So we want to replicate that. That's what we want to replicate. What the Seattle Seahawks did. Making sure that our first, second, hell, maybe even at least 3 out of the 7 picks, bona fide starters. Right now, we're sitting with the 6th, the 37th, the 68th, and then the 97th. So we got 4 picks under the 100, top 100, and then we got the 108th, 170, 180, 214, and 224. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We got 9 picks. Let's go. And see, and that's the thing too. Like, we got 9 picks. Like, how are you gonna tell the Arizona Cardinal fans if Keim comes back? How are you gonna tell the Arizona Cardinal fans? Oh, here comes Keim. He's got 9 picks. 9 picks. I want at least 3 starters out of those 9 picks. Is that a lot to ask for? Is that truly a lot to ask for? I don't think it is. I don't think it is. I truly don't think it is. Nine picks. No Steve Keim. No. No more Thanos. I'm done with it. I think it's time for a different regime. It's time for different leadership. And there's been hints. I don't know if y'all know, but there's been hints of a possibility of us getting new threads next year. New threads. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Yeah, no Leftwich. Yeah. No, I'm no Leftwich. I like Bulls. I truly do like Bulls, and obviously he's the head coach over there in the Bucks. No, Leftwich. No. Mm-mm. No. I want somebody that's going to be able to help Kyler. That, or we actually get a offensive coordinator that's the next up and coming Sean McVay, next up and coming young offensive coordinator that knows what he's doing. That's who I want. So if we go like the defensive route, we can go defensively. I mean, I could honestly care less, but I mean, we'll see. Here we go. Let's go. Another super chat of the night. Appreciate you. Thank you so very much, Professor Emoji. Love that. Love that name. So I got this hair in my hair. Okay, got it. Do you think the Cardinals should draft Neil? Oh, hell yes. Hell yes. Hell yes. I've actually came on a stream and said the only way I would like to see the Arizona Cardinals go on the offensive route, the only way, anybody offensively, they need to get offensive linemen. Nobody else. I don't want to see a running back. I don't want to see a tight end. I don't want to see a wide receiver. Offensive line, if they go the offensive route, this is a no-brainer. They have to go and draft offensive linemen. They have to. Absolutely have to. And I'm talking about the first pick, right? If we get a running back in the 3rd or 4th round, I'm talking about the first round pick. Offensive lineman is a must. I think we got some people, mocking Peter Skoronsky over to us. Maybe. No worries, man. Thank you so much, another for a super chat. Appreciate you, brother. Yeah, this is wild news, everybody. This is wild news right now. We're in a situation where I know Cardinal fans are feeling a little hopeful. And I know it's a weird circumstance, right? It's a weird circumstance that we're in right now. Because Keim is taking a leave because of a health issue, right? So I know some people don't want to be happy, right? Some people are kind of feeling a little like, oh my God, I feel like I'm bad mouthing a person that's sick. I think this is it's for the best. Trust me. I hope everything good for him. I truly do. I've said this like 3 or 4 times because I know how social media is. I truly do. Oh my God, Mike says he doesn't care about his health. Cancel it. I know how it is. I know it, and that's why I said it like 4 or 5 times. I truly do hope that if he is indeed sick mentally, or the thing that's going on in the world, a bad flu, a respiratory, health, really, I do hope that he gets better. I truly do. Most people in this channel know how I feel about him, but I don't want any will ill against the guy. I truly don't. I just don't want him to pick our draft picks. That's it. Like that's all I ask. I just don't want you to pick my draft picks. And free agency either. I just don't want that. That's all I want. So we'll see, right? We'll see. We'll see how it all shakes out. We'll see how it all shakes out. I think offensive lineman is a no-brainer. Though, to continue with your question, yeah, I think offensive lineman is a no-brainer. Preferably somebody to take Kelvin Beacham's spot, because Kelvin Beacham is in the future, right? He's good for what he's done for us, but honestly, at this very moment, like I don't think he's going to stay very, very long, at least for the future. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Let's see. What's up, Javier? Because honestly, I don't think Sean Payton will want to come to AZ. Even if we get rid of Keim and Cliff, there's still Kyler Murray that he can be a potential issue. Lots of coaches don't like this play style. I mean, that's a good call out. Honestly, I know there's some people that did say that as well, because the Cardinals organization is probably not run the best. You know what I mean? So I mean, that's a good call out. Maybe he might not even want to come to Arizona, right? At one point, there was kind of speculations and talks being like, oh, maybe he wants to come. Maybe, those reports saying that. But there was a most recent report that came out, and I made a video about it, saying that Sean Payton, it seems like that he is going to be coaching in the 2023 season. Like, the people close to Sean Payton said that it's very likely he's coming back in 2023. And they asked him, where do you think he's going to be? Right. And they're like, oh, the Saints. Well, that makes sense, right? You come back, you're still under contract with the Saints. So unless anybody trades for you, you're stuck with the Saints right now, unless that happens. So it seems very likely that he's coming back in 2023. But we'll see. I don't know. We have heard and we saw, Sean Payton saying that he would rather do something differently with Kyler. I think he was on Colin Cowherd show, and we've heard him talk about Kyler Murray a lot. He didn't say any bad things, but like we're living in a world that, like, I'm gonna sit here and tell you guys this right now. Don't listen to a lot of things that people say and take it to heart. Let's just see how it plays out. Because honestly, I think that any coach, if they're able to get into the mind of Kyler Murray and actually see eye to eye with him, I potentially think that Kyler Murray is a great quarterback to have. Now, if it does happen and we get like a pristine head coach in and Kyler Murray's still having his same shenanigans and he's still moping around, then we know Kyler Murray can't be coached. But I truly honestly think that what happened in this offseason was the worst thing to happen to this Arizona Cardinals organization. The worst thing. You can't try to call your quarterback out and give him a homework addendum and think things are going to be fine. Yeah, you're still paying him, but you always now kind of have that mind in your that thought in your mind of, man, I don't think these guys truly believe in me. I would feel that way. I'm not sure if you guys in the chat would. I'm assuming Kyler would. Well, maybe not. It's a bad way to start this season. We're 11 wins, right? There was a report that came out saying that Kyler felt like he was the scapegoat of that wild card game. Now, he played bad. Oh, yeah, he played bad. And Cliff didn't have a good game. Nobody had a good game. The offensive line was Swiss cheese. Bad. It was bad. I still have PTSD from that game. I truly do. But the sense of the nature here is that I've seen enough from Kyler. I have. I know he can be a very, very good back into 2020 in the beginning of 2021 season, Kyler-esque again. We just need a coach to get in his ear and say, this is our plan. This is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to stick to. Your shotgun 90% of the time is probably going to have to be changed, whether you like it or you don't like it. I'm the head coach. You're the player. If indeed Kyler Murray doesn't want to be under center because he doesn't like it, it doesn't matter. Things that make you uncomfortable makes you better. Things that make you uncomfortable makes you better. If you don't do things that make you uncomfortable, then you're not growing. You're not growing as a person. Things that make you uncomfortable make you better. Trust me when I say that. You can take that to school. You can take that to work. You can take that to wherever life lesson that you possibly want. If you're staying and secluding yourself and don't want to change or don't want to grow, you're never going to get better into that next level. You truly aren't. So I think if that report's true, which I don't think it is, I don't think it is. I think it's a little bit more deeper than that. With Kyler Murray not wanting to go under center. Because I know people are like, Kyler Murray doesn't want to go under center. It doesn't matter. If I'm the coach, it doesn't matter. This is the scheme that we're going to run. We're going to implement what you like, and I'm going to implement what you do good at, but we're also going to do this as well. So we'll see, right? A lot of rollouts, a lot of bootlegs. I would love to see something like that. Play actions opens up a lot of stuff like that. Obviously, another offensive. We need some offensive line though. Like the offensive line here that was brought together by our current GM, now on leave GM, wasn't good enough. Wasn't good enough. Continuing with the topic of Steve Keim, I think this is an attempt to clean house. I truly do. I truly, truly do. If you believe that Steve Keim is actually sick and he's coming back, that's cool. That's cool. And if you're right, get a cookie. Not from me. Get a cookie from your drawer. And congratulations, you're right. But I think this is an attempt to start cleaning house. And it makes it look better. It truly does. Because nobody outside the Arizona Cardinals organization, the Cardinals fandom, know about Steve. Trust me when I say that. Because when people look from the outside in, they're like, oh, well, Steve Keim, didn't he win like an executive of the year? Didn't he give you Kyler Murray? But they don't know all the other draft picks. We know. We know the free agency pickups that we got. We know the draft picks that we got. We know. Because we see it, we live it, we breathe it, year in and year out. Yeah, there you go. Shut up. Yeah, didn't they give you D-Hop? Yeah, he did. He absolutely did give us D-Hop. Yeah, but we know more. Like we know more because we live it, we breathe it, we feel it. We like this is what we do. This is our team. And now that the national media kind of got the grinds going, you know, I think it helped out a little bit. I truly do. I think it helped out that Steve Keim, fire Steve Keim trending on Twitter also probably helped out as well. So, yeah, I mean, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm excited because in me right now, I'm, you know, there's a level of smile going on within me right now, right? A little smirk. And it's not for the benefit, however you want to take it, right? It's not because like, oh yeah, he's sick. That's cool. No, I'm not. I'm not a monster. I'm not a monster. Sheesh. I got a family, man. I got a family myself. I wish no ill against them. It's just I think this is an attempt to clean house. I truly do. I truly, truly do. Truly, truly do. And I don't think Steve Keim. I do think that Steve Keim, anybody could have got DeAndre Hopkins. Anybody could have gotten him. It's just we ran into a Texans team that wanted to get rid of him so badly. And they saw David Johnson and they think that they thought they could revive him. Although we knew that the moment that David Johnson got paid, he wasn't playing the same. We knew with our eyes that David Johnson wasn't the same. I like the extension of David Johnson because David Johnson, 2015, man, that was something to see. Now, maybe extending him as quick as we did, maybe that wasn't the route that I would want to take personally. But like when David Johnson got paid, he lost the eye of the tiger. He lost the ferociousness that he was running with. He started playing a little bit more timid. So we just ran into a team that desperately wanted to get rid of a disgruntled player. But truthfully, this topic might come out later on, ladies and gentlemen. If we're indeed rebuilding again, hear me well when I say this. This topic might come up later on. If we're truly rebuilding again, DeAndre Hopkins, does he want to go somewhere else? Because we're not there yet. Kyler, we don't know when he's coming back. We don't. Is it midway through the season? Is it in the end of the season? Is it in the beginning of the season? We don't know. We don't know. So, yeah, I mean, hear me well. I think that might come up a little later on. You know what I mean? If we're in true rebuilding mode. Because what was put together in this 4 years didn't cut it. It didn't cut it. Another super chat, Professor Emoji coming up. Back to back to back super chats. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you, Bill O'Brien. Yes, honestly, I think Bill O'Brien more than I think Keim. Because honestly, with one thing that Keim does very well, I can give you 3 or 4 or 5 different things that Keim did bad on. I truly can. So maybe my mind might be a little foggy, right? It might be a little foggy. But you give me one good thing that Keim did good, I'll give you 3 or 4 or 5 bad things that Keim did. Oh yeah, we got a lot to talk. This offseason is gonna be nuts, y'all. This put seatbelt in. Get your seatbelt together. This offseason is going to be nuts. Absolutely nuts. The report that came out that Michael Bidwell lost his crap, right? And I don't know if you guys saw that, but there was a report that came out that said Michael Bidwell wasn't happy with the way that last year ended. And then people try to cover it up. You got to remember that. This organization is good at one thing. This organization is very good at making sure that the public eye and the people in the national level looks at this organization like a button-up, tie-up type of organization. Nothing to see here, Eno Benjamin. Nothing to see here, Bruce Arians. Nothing to see here, Sean Kugler. We take it down. That's one thing that this organization does very well at. I mean, it's obvious. But y'all remember that? Well, Ian Rappaport tried to come out and said there was no meeting. And then he was like, oh yeah, but there was a meeting after all. Yes, because Michael Bidwell didn't want this to end that way. Fans weren't happy. I was pissed off. Fans told me, we had 11 wins, Mike. Why are you so mad? Because we got destroyed by an LA team, which A, I hit LA, and B, they're in our division. And C, we didn't even look like we should have been on the same field with that team. And especially because we were winning that division for most of the season, or at least halfway through. So it hurt me a little different than other people, because people see the record. They see the 5, the 8, and the 11. I don't see it that way. I see it with how do we perform in that game? Do you got ice in your veins? I was pissed. And I still remember those comments. Trust me, ladies and gentlemen. I don't talk about it all very often, but your comments that you guys are putting on these on these videos fuels me. Trust me. These comments y'all put in these videos, even if I don't heart them, I see some of them. Fuels me. Trust me. Fuels me. Made me the monster that I am here today. Truly, truly did. We got to see what happens here. We got to see what happens. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see how it's going to come through. I think this offseason is going to be nuts. I truly do. Let me ask you guys this last thing. We're about to hit our hour mark. Thanks so much for being here, by the way. I truly do. Thanks a lot. If you guys haven't already, smack the like button. Please do me that huge favor. Smack the like button up. Smack it up, yo. I'm not sure where we're at, but we should at least be over 100 at this point. Smack it up. We are going to be doing another watch party, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, I had a very, very fun time doing the watch party on Monday night. We're probably going to do the same thing for the Broncos, which is going to be a disaster, but I think I'm already game for it, right? I'm already excited for it. So we'll see how it goes through. I do see your comment there. Somebody is saying draft CJ. We're not going to talk that yet. I see you. We're not going to do that yet. We'll see how this all shakes out. This is going to be a very interesting offseason, to say the least, right? I'll give you my draft prospects who I want coming through. Not now. I want to focus on the season still and see how this comes through. But yeah, continue to rock with the AZ Sports Fan here. Continue to obviously, subscribe it up, do your thing, Appreciate you. This has been absolute fun. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I really do appreciate it. Shout out to all the channel members that are in the chat right now. Michael, I see you there, man. Thank you so very much. Lennon, I see you there as well. Thank you, guys. Have a great rest of your day. If you guys don't follow me on my social platforms, do that. Sometimes I actually put the news out there before I make the videos because videos take longer. So all my handles are here. Twitter, Instagram, those are where I'm very active at. So definitely shoot me a follow on those platforms on there. I give the news a lot quicker on there than I do videos because videos take longer. So just FYI, shoot me a follow. And there's also a nice clickable link in the description of this video. All right, guys, go ahead and fist bump in the chat below, fire emoji, whatever you want to go ahead and do. Thank you so very much, everybody, for tuning in. Have a great rest of your day. Good night to everybody that's currently in here. Have a great rest of your day. And as always, go Cards.